and show y'all the oldest cemetery in Charlotte County. And as you can see on the sign, 1879. Just outside the fence is this sign that actually says that it was established in 1879 and is the oldest known cemetery in Charlotte County, Florida. And the final resting place of many local pioneers who braved the subtropical wilderness and Civil War reconstruction to build a settlement on Charlotte Harbor's waterfront. The church building, let's see here. The Charlotte Harbor Cemetery land with the boundaries as they known today was deeded to the First Methodist Church of Charlotte Harbor, now Trinity Unity United Methodist Church, on May 1st, 1908 for $1. It was damaged. The church and the cemetery were damaged by several hurricanes over the years, including Hurricane Charlie in 2004. Meeting continuously since 1879, the congregation has repaired and renewed the historical grave markers and cemetery. And it actually says, and is still active and available as a final resting place today. I guess since it's connected with the church, maybe this was the original area where the church was, and it was just too damaged to rebuild the church from the hurricanes. Maybe they've moved the church to a different location so it could be freed up for more cemetery plots. Wondering about Charlotte Harbor, where the water is. It would be right beyond those trees, not too far away. It's maybe a 2-minute drive. I don't know what that is. It looks like a lone tombstone over there. Let's go check it out. Sure enough, it's a lone grave marker underneath this tree. The rest of the cemetery is over there, so she has her own little spot for the time being. So you may not know this about me, but I've always been slightly intrigued, I guess the word would be, by cemeteries. I always seem to want to go visit them whenever I get a chance to. I've always been like that. The first time I remember distinctly wanting to go to a graveyard was when I was about 13 or 14, and I wanted to go see James Dean's grave. And I think that kind of instilled the interest in me a little bit. Looks like they have quite a bit of room left here. Like I said, that's where I just came from. That tree right in the middle with the grave underneath it. So they still have quite a bit of room left. You can tell it's still a pretty active cemetery as well, even though it's the oldest in the county. People are coming out. And then there's actually a little bench right here. Just actually came around to see when this person died. He actually passed away this year. So it's still a fresh grave. Actually I noticed quite a few spots with just crosses, as you can see right here. And it makes me wonder if maybe the sign mentioned, and you can see some more back there. It makes me wonder if all these markers with just the crosses and no nameplates, if maybe those are what got damaged, the headstones that got damaged during the hurricanes, and they just never replaced the headstones. They could be expensive. It's kind of sad though, because you don't even know who they are. If you look closely, it says, "Darling, we miss you." A little baby. That's sad. Guessing these are the babies. Robin, it could be a boy or a girl. It's hard. Jeanette would be her middle name. But I guess these would be her parents, because it looks like they were born in the 40s, which would make them about 20-something. The mom, Mary Allen, would have been 20. So that's who it is. Another baby. This one, Daniel, was just a couple days old. Cross looks like they attached a placement marker to the cross so you know who it was, but they were born in 1889 and passed away in 1965. It looks like maybe, if you look closely, let's see if you can see it, it looks like they might have written the name and the date on top of the cross. Another one, it has the name and a date. It's so faint that you could tell they wrote something, but you can't quite make it out. Like somebody might have paid for their marker recently. It looks pretty new considering they passed away in 1934 and 39. Yeah, that looks like somebody might have replaced it. Interesting. It's interesting. You could see where this person was born and where they died. Here's some other older tombs. I'm starting to get the older section, but there are a lot of babies in this tomb, this graveyard. Day-old baby. Caught my eye. It's like a tree on some stumps. There's no name or anything on it. I like this one. It says, "He entered heaven on a rainbow." So worn you can't even make out the names on them anymore. You know, considering that this is considered the oldest known cemetery in Charlotte County, I was surprised to see how many newer markers there are in the cemetery. You know, not only did I see like folks whose headstones said, you know, buried in the 2000s, passed away in the 2000s, but newer even in the sense of like the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. You know, that's still less than 100 years. And it's a small cemetery, but that was the vast majority of the people who I saw buried here, which I guess just shows how new of an area this is, that they didn't have many folks to bury in this specific area. I know there's a cemetery a little bit further south from here that has older grave markers as well. I guess they're just not as old as some of the folks who are buried here though. So maybe one day I'll show you that cemetery as well.